Last year, we had the Standard Charter Nairobi Marathon, and we had a conversation before it, and we had a conversation after, and we saw the very many runners from Nairobi, from across the country, and from across the world running in the Standard Charter Nairobi Marathon. It's back this year. And there are two ladies who are joining us for the show now. Joyce Kibe is the head of corporate affairs, brand and marketing at Standard Chartered. She's joined by Mary Gakuo, who is a runner. Let's start with you, Joyce. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you so much, Lucky.
Welcome to the hot seat of Kenya's biggest conversation, the Situation Room. It's good to have you here. The Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is back this year. What dates?
The physical marathon is going to be on October 23rd. That's going to be a Sunday. We also have a virtual race that will start from the 23rd of October to 30th of October.
This is the virtual one.
Yes.
Okay, for people who were not around, you know, there's a ship that had gone to Mars last year. So there's some people who had traveled and they came back after it had happened. Just remind them or educate them. What is this virtual marathon?
Thank you so much. So for the last 18 years, we've been having the marathon in Kenya. It's actually the single biggest sporting event that's held in Kenya. And what's more, the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is accredited by international bodies such as the World Athletics as well as AIMS. So last year, due to COVID restrictions, we decided to come up with a hybrid marathon. The hybrid marathon basically has physical, where you run on one day, a particular day, which is in this case 30th of October on a Sunday, as well as virtual marathon. What we saw and listened to our runners is that they wanted to run from anywhere in the world. You'll agree with me that because of COVID, you were not able to do the things that you used to do. So most people decided to start running from their neighborhoods, to run in parks, and to run from whichever part. So last year, we came up with the concept of virtual marathon, and we attracted runners from all over the world, all the way from Chile, from India, from Russia. Everyone was running, as well as Nairobi, Kenya, Kisumu, as well as Kakamega. So this year we decided let's spread this opportunity again across Kenya, across the world, and attract virtual runners as well as physical runners. Hence the concept of hybrid marathon, and that's why we have both virtual as well as physical. We are giving everyone an opportunity to participate in the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon.
You know, what I'm about to ask, don't enjoin my colleagues. This is just me thinking.
Yes.
Okay? The race starts in the morning.
Yes.
Now, why do I want to wake up in the morning so that I can just run?
Thank you so much for your question. One, it's for your well-being.
My
Well-being.
So I'm not well until I start running.
No, you
Yes.
need to exercise your physical and mental well-being. Let me tell you a very simple story. 2020, when COVID broke out, I was stuck at home and all the gyms were closed. So one of the things I started doing is I started walking around, and I'm like, this is boring. Let me try and jog a bit. And lo and behold, I can now do 10 kilometers very comfortably. Because of that, that is what the marathon is all about. We want everyone to be given a fair chance to come out, exercise, make sure your mental well-being is okay. Not only is it for you to wake up in the morning, it's actually fun. Come with your families. Yes, because you're not running alone. You're going to run with Latif, for example.
Latif.
You're going to run with Gakuo here, and you're also going to run with Ndo. And we're also making sure that we entertain, and there's going to be lots of entertainment, and we'll have kids at the marathon. Now, let me give you the most important reason as to why you should come for the marathon. We support a very noble cause. It's called the Future Makers. This is a global initiative by Standard Chartered Bank where we help people to learn and grow. Who are these people? We target the women, we target youth, and we also target people with disabilities. To date, we've raised a lot of money to the extent of about 4 billion shillings in the last 10 years through our Future Makers initiative. So, on top of your well-being, you'll actually be supporting a very noble cause.
Is old age considered a disability?
No, it is not a disability at all. there are very many people who are older than you who come for the marathon.
Those people like waking up early and running, don't they?
You can run at any time. And on top of that, we're also doing a lot of training right now. We have a Standard Chartered running club, and we started training for the marathon. I'm very sure here at Standard Media Group, there's a running club where people are actually running. Yes, your own colleagues.
It's good for them.
Yes. And I'd want to encourage you to join. Look at me. I never used to run. So what stops you? Age is nothing but a number.
His age mate just climbed Mount Everest the other day.
See?
So how do folks get to plugging into this? I mean, registration and all of this. How do people say we want to sign up? I mean, from what you're saying, I reckon that the virtual, race last year was a success. And then here's an opportunity for you to plug into this race wherever you are. Or if you're not, wanting to wake up early in the morning, you have the opportunity to then run wherever and then clock your timing. So how is this all working together, Joyce?
Thank you so much for your question. So Standard Chartered Bank is digital, so everything will be digital. Log on to nairobimarathon.com and register. It's only 2,000 shillings for both virtual as well as physical marathon. Then you can select the race of your choice, whether it's 42 kilometers. We also have 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and the 5 kilometers family run. In addition, we have the corporate relay, where we're encouraging corporates to come in with all their colleagues and join in for the corporate relay. So nairobimarathon.com. Yes.
You told us that the physical one is October 23rd.
October 30th? Yes.
October 30th.
Yes, and then the virtual
The
is
virtual
October
is
23rd.
October 23rd to October 30th.
Yes.
Why are the virtual people running for many more days?
Okay, so we are giving everyone an opportunity to run for 7 days, and you choose the day I want to run. Let me give you an example. So maybe you're very busy or you're flying from different parts of the country, and you say, I want to run 42 kilometers on a Tuesday because I'm not able to do it on a Monday. So we give you an opportunity to do your race on Tuesday. Now, you may do that and say, my time was not so good, I want to try again. So you can do it for across those days from 23rd to 30th. Then you log in your personal best. So we will reward you. You will get a certificate of participation. In addition to that, you're also going to get a medal. Yes. So those days
running
for
virtually,
yes.
I can I can run for a number of days, and my personal best is what is logged in.
Exactly.
Running
exactly.
physically
Yes.
is just the one day.
That is the one
That
day.
has to be my personal day.
Exactly, where you have to do your best, very, very best. So you can see we encourage you from anywhere, even if you're, you're from Lokichogyo and you want to run, just choose the day that you want to do it and do your best.
Oh, okay. Because some
Yes.
folks are, so if you pick the 42 and you have these 7 days that, you can run 6 kilometers today, 6 tomorrow, so that so long as it comes
They
to
add up to
October
42.
October 30th, you have
Why
run
are you
42
starting with
kilometers.
6 kilometers?
No, I'm actually asking a question that has come through. So the thing is, it's not the virtual race is not a collective number of kilometers. It's you do the thing and then you give the best on the final day.
Exactly. You give the personal best on one day,
Okay.
basically. So you say, this is the day that I dedicate to doing my 42 or my 10 kilometers.
So, in essence, you are enabling a large number of people who may want to participate. You're giving diversity so that you don't have to wait for the actual physical marathon.
Exactly.
As days go by leading to the actual day,
Yes.
you can actually be participating. But when I heard virtually, I was thinking, it's something that where I just sit somewhere and I think it through and watch TV or something, and somehow okay.
Yes, so that's what we're doing. And what we do is we also have warm-up races. For example, we've already had the first warm-up race that we had in May. Then we're going to have one in September. Again, it's practicing. How do I get my personal best if I'm doing, say, the 10 kilometers? Then during the virtual race week, it's to say, I am selecting this day. This will be my personal best. for instance, I will personally try and do my personal best during the virtual week. Then on 30th, I'll be ready to do the physical marathon to beat my last year personal best.
Okay.
Yes.
Joyce, we'll come back and talk about now the details, the
Yes.
routes and all.
Exactly.
But Mary Gakuo is here with us. She's a recreational runner. So when Joyce has been doing 10 kilometers and she's proud and saying, I do 10 kilometers comfortably. Mary, how about you?
Thank you, Eric. Yes, I am a recreational runner. That's a fun runner, an amateur runner. I do not like to put so much complexity to it because I like to keep running simple. I find that life is already complicated, so I like to keep my run simple. So for me, yes, I do enjoy the 10 kms, just like Joyce. My best or my favorite runs will range between 15 to 21. I've been a 21 kilometer runner for a long time, but this year I decided to just, take it a notch higher.
You run 21 kilometers.
Yes, and even further. This year I decided to take it a notch
Where
higher.
you live, there are no matatus.
There are lots of those. There are lots of those. There are lots of borders, but still, I choose to run.
So this year you decided to take it a notch higher.
Yes,
And now you're doing upwards
I
of 21.
got to 30,
Wow.
and
I'm curious as to how you started, because I think this every time we hear about the marathon, the people say, okay, you want to split your desires. So I want to
Yeah.
be able to help the future, but then I'm having an issue.
Where do I have to start?
The only way to get me there is, okay, if I sponsor somebody else to be in the race, but then also I want to be able to run. So I'm curious as to how, because it could be an encouragement for many people who say, okay, well, I want to do this, but then how do I get to the point where I'm keeping it simple, running 21 kilometers? Seems a little bit daunting. So how did you
That's
you
just
start?
being modest.
I mean,
Life is complicated.
So
as
let's
it
just
is.
keep it at
So let's just do
21.
21.
Yes.
How did you start?
21 kilometers is not complicated. Complication begins at 30 kilometers.
She's taking things a notch higher this year and keeping it simple. So how did you start, really? Some people are thinking 21 kilometers. How about 100 meters from here to the gate? How do you even get there?
I get that question a lot, and one time when I thought about it, I bet I've been in the sort of athletic space, because even in high school I used to take part in athletics a lot. It would be the sport that I'd gravitate towards, as opposed to basketball, netball, and all the others that were there. So later on in life, that I was doing because I was being forced to. Later on in life, you realize I do need something, something, like a physical activity with our busy lives, with our busy schedules, a physical activity just to get a balance. So looked around. I've paid for gyms, which I never attended. So I figured I really do not enjoy the gym. So one day I decided, you know what? I used to enjoy running. So how do I, maybe I can try this running thing. This is many years later, after not being in the sport of athletics or running. So I decided, let me just head out to Karura. It's in my neighborhood. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, of course, the first run or the first attempt is very difficult, but then the next day you go. So the first you go, decide, okay, maybe I'll walk 5 kilometers, then walk another, and run 5 kilometers and walk the rest. But then the next day you realize, this is not so bad. So the next day you're eager to want and see, how can I go further than I did yesterday? Then little by little, this became a habit, and it became a good addiction. Now, I've been doing this maybe 4 years, but on the recreational bit, I do not like to complicate my runs. I do not like to complicate this activity, because I view running as I view it as a fun thing, and it's something that anyone can do, just to connect to what Joyce was saying, across ages, and you can do it from anywhere. So it's simple, it's convenient, and it's easy. And the beauty about it is that the reward that you get from this simple activity is enormous. The mental health she was speaking about, the when you leave your house to head out for a run, it's not the same way you come back. There's just a rush of satisfaction, of energy, a burst of energy that you get. So a call to anyone, you start today, I always say you can just even head out 1 kilometer from your house and back. See how you like it. Tomorrow, try and do an extra mile or an extra kilometer and see how you like it, then come back. Yeah.
Start somewhere.
Start somewhere.
Just
And that's the beauty about running.
do
Very
something.
simple, not complicated. All you need are your running shoes, a running gear, head out. So long as the environment is safe, head out, come back, see how you like it.
So, Mary, in this uncomplicated way that you do the recreational running, have you gone to other places to run apart from Karura where you started?
The way I add fun to it, every time I'm in a new county, I like to run. So if I head out to maybe a weekend and I'm in a different county, I'm in Mombasa, I'm in some parts in the Rift Valley, I'll carry my running stuff and I will do a run. I have found that is fun. Next year I want to take it a notch higher and try and participate in international sort of marathons and marathons in other places. But yet still keeping it simple. Try my 21, perhaps in London Marathon, try my 21. But the way I add fun to it is participating. When I go to counties, I like to run in those counties. So I say, hey, I've ran in Meru County, I've ran in Nakuru County. That adds to the fun bit of it. That is a concept that I borrowed from the founder of Metaverse, Zuckerberg. I read somewhere that he likes to see new cities by running. And I can concur that it is a beautiful way to run in a city, and you kind of understand your city better when you run, because even in this Nairobi, there are places that you will figure out that you didn't know and are just here in your neighborhood. So it's a nice way to see a new city. It's a nice way to see a new county.
You know, people talk about when you start running and you're thinking, especially if you're running in an urban area, so you're thinking about everything else. When you're not inside Karura, when you're running on the road, there's the vehicles on the road. There are no marked pedestrian places for you to walk or run, to cross. How do you deal with all that? The people will just say,
Yeah, and that can be a hindrance, and because even for me, sometimes when there are security scares or safety scares, that is also sort of a hindrance. So safety is key, and I say even as a runner, safety starts with you. So if you're running on the road, ensure that you follow the basic concepts or rules of road safety. Do not let the cars trail you. It's best when they're facing that you can tell what's oncoming. Yeah, that way you're able to sort of even avoid, danger and accidents. So basic safety concepts, even your gear. You'll find that most athletics gear is bright colors. So don or wear bright colors. That way, most of us as motorists or drivers, you do not see pedestrians. You see other vehicles, but they are not keen to see pedestrians or runners. So it's best to wear reflective clothes or bright colors, or you can wear reflective jackets. You can wear their running shoes that also have reflective markers. So all this, make sure if you're running at night, or if you're running early morning, or if you're running when it's foggy, like in this sort of weather, all this, make sure that you're visible, So it's good to observe safety, because this begins with you. Then again, you don't want to find yourself in a danger zone because of an activity that was supposed to bring you happiness or good things.
Indeed. Let's take a break. It's 8:30. This is Kenya's biggest conversation. It's a situation room. With us in the studio this morning is Joyce Kibe, the Standard Chartered Head of Corporate Affairs, Brand and Marketing, and Mary Gakuo, recreational runner. We are talking about the 19th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon that's going to be taking place on October 30th. The physical race and the virtual race opens on the 23rd of October and closes on the 30th of October. We'll be talking about the details, how to get yourself registered, how to, do you need to pay, do you not need to pay, what else do you need to know as you head towards this particular day.
This is the Situation Room the only way to start your day.
Joyce Kibe from Standard Chartered and Mary Gakuo, a recreational runner. We are talking about the 19th edition of the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon that's going to be taking place on the 30th of October and the virtual race from the 23rd to the 30th of October. Joyce, it's about future makers. Who are future makers?
Thanks, Latif. Future Makers is a Standard Chartered global initiative, and what we do is we help our communities to learn and then grow. Our biggest focus is on women, youth, and people with disabilities. Let me first touch on something that Mary Gakuo mentioned about running outdoors. One of the things that we've been promoting with the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is running in green spaces. For example, going to the Nairobi Arboretum, going to Ngong Road Forest Sanctuary, as well as Karura. Why are we doing this? Because we want people to run in very good green spaces, promote their well-being, and most important, conserve our environment. So one of the things we've been doing is to promote sustainability through the marathon. And what we are doing is also using the future makers to do this for us. And what are we doing with them? For example, future makers last year, we encouraged about 550 youth across various counties in Kenya to start running. And one of the things we also did is we gave them financial literacy training in terms of what can we, how can we help them start earning a living and keep good books in terms of bookkeeping as they earn money coming from races that they've won. We've seen some of these athletes, not being able to raise their standards of living, and what we decided to do is educate them, and we've been able to see success coming through various counties in the world and the country. Secondly, we've also made sure that we've promoted the women in terms of encouraging them to start businesses and also encouraging people with disabilities. In the 19th edition, what we've agreed to do is we are going to train the people with disabilities, especially for the 21 kilometers wheelchair race, to be adequately prepared for the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon. In addition, we are reaching out to places, let's say, with the Kenya Disability Network and Light of the World to encourage them to start volunteering for the marathon. So we want to have an inclusive marathon whereby not only do we have people with disabilities, we have the youth, women participating in the marathon. Future makers will make sure we shift the dial in the country and make sure we promote inclusivity in the society.
When you look at the sustainability of such a program, and saying that, look, it sounds like something that is remembered when the marathon comes about. But from what you're saying now is that throughout you see some terms of longevity when it comes to the impact that is made on lives around the country. So is it then something that we can remember beyond the 30th of October, that lives are being impacted because thousands of people came to run, lives of many, many more around the country then can be impacted for better? So from what I'm hearing you say then, it's beyond the marathon. It's beyond the coming to run and giving your and registering with your 2,000 shillings, but that lives can be impacted for long.
Excellent question. Yes, it is. And what we call it is lifting participation. We lift participation of everyone in the society, from women, the youth, as well as persons with disability. So when you contribute the 2,000 goes to various programs. And if I can touch on some of the programs, we have a gold program whereby we target young girls who are coming from disadvantaged families, whereby we train them in terms of educating them, how can they start businesses, and we uplift them by making sure that they are ready to be able to conduct businesses. We have an employability program whereby we go to various universities. Right now, we are targeting 6 universities across Kenya. Last year, we impacted about 6,000 students, whereby we train them in terms of future skills. What do I mean by future skills? We have a program in partnership with Light for the World, where we help these students in the universities come up with very good CVs, make sure that they're interview ready to be able to come and take a job like your job for instance, because let's face it, you'll be there, you're studying in the university, but then you're not so marketable in terms of how do you present yourself to an employer. So one of the programs is the Employability Program. The other program I can also mention is Women in Tech. We are working very closely with Strathmore University, whereby we are targeting women who are in the tech industry, making sure that we get them into an incubator program, run them through a very rigorous exercise whereby we equip them with skills, and then once they graduate, each student gets cash money. We get 5 graduates, and everyone gets $10,000 to be able to start their business. So you can see these programs are actually sustainable. We don't stop there. The next year we look at how is this program working out. We are focusing on impact rather than scalability. So sustainability being a key strategic priority for the bank is here, and we're making sure that it goes for a long time, not only 1 year. So we live to our brand promise, which is here for good. We want to make sure that we lift participation across the communities in Kenya as well as the world. Thanks.
Joyce, could you walk us through this process you mentioned where you have a program that seeks to add to the knowledge that athletes have, financial knowledge that they have, and how it is you work towards making them better managers of the resources that they have?
Okay. Thanks so much. So let me give you an example. So we have some of the athletes who've won some cash money, say you've won 200,000, $1 million shillings, but you've seen it in the media that some of these athletes have actually squandered the money. But what they lacked is no one held their hand in terms of how can they spend their money wisely. As a bank, what we have is a financial literacy program. Together with our partners, we teach them basic bookkeeping. Where are the right instruments to invest? When should you invest? When should you pull your money out? And how much of this money can you uplift the communities at large? So we started this program with one of the counties, and for example, one of the counties, we went to Kirinyaga, one of the places, and we took these athletes through the financial literacy training, and in addition, we also made sure that they were running at the same time, because we wanted to make sure that they pass on their skill set to the future generation. So these athletes were able to start businesses with the money, and then after that, pass on these skills to other generations, whereby one, they are able now to spend their money wisely, start businesses, and on top of that, pass on the skills of being an athlete.
How many counties are you working in? Or working with?
6 counties.
So these are the partners you speak of, or do you have other partners?
So we
the
have
counties?
one partner, and we work through this partner to access all these counties.
This partner has a name, perhaps? Or is one of these things you can't really talk about?
We do have it. Allow me for, it's Kibe Foundation. That's
Yes.
the partnerships that we have together.
Yes.
We had this partnership last year. We are still looking at expanding. In addition to this, we invite these athletes. They participated in our Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, and some of them have actually been able to participate in the international marathons around the world. Yes.
So when you say you work with these athletes and that you help them understand how best it is to manage their finances, the question that I want to ask next is, how do you determine the counties that you want to work with? I know the obvious question is that counties where the athletes come from, but yes.
Okay, so we have coaches around the country, and through working with Athletics Kenya, and through Athletics Kenya, we've been able to come up with a short list of their athletes and being able to train them to be ready in terms of business as well as training for future athletes.
It's odd, but it's actually very commendable what you're doing, because it's not just our athletes.
Yes.
Around the world, people who've made money in the millions of dollars and tens and millions, we read about them going absolutely broke.
Correct.
So it means the very problem that our athletes face
Yes.
is a problem that they faced. Because whatever amount you mentioned, somehow they seem to have run through that entire amount to the point where they now have absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Yes.
Hence my point around sustainability. how do you make sure that that money is able to stretch and go for a longer period of time?
Yes.
How are you able to make an impact to the society with this money? You've won, but then you can make a business, be able to employ others, and in addition, use that skill that you acquired when you're an athlete to impact on others. And that's what Standard Chartered is all about. That's what we say Future Makers is all about. That 2,000 shillings enables us to come up with such brilliant programs which impact the communities.
Do you have case studies that you can share? This is what the Future Makers has done so far. We have the case of athlete so-and-so or child so-and-so who benefited from Future Makers in the past. And this is where they are at now.
Or are there confidentiality issues and you do not wish, or the athletes themselves may not want their stories to be known publicly?
I will use one of the case studies. He's our brand ambassador because I have permission to use that. It's Henry. Henry is a person with disability. He is blind. And currently he's just participated in Berlin. He's participated in most of the marathons. I know he was in Berlin yesterday. He was in Mauritius. And one of the things that he does for us is make sure he spreads about the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, running as one. So this is an excellent case study whereby someone is visually impaired but is able to influence people, not only in Kenya but across the world, in terms of how can you make sure that you remain successful by running. He participates in the running. He mentors students. On Saturday, he was participating in a chess competition where he was giving the awards to students. But the beauty about it, he told them, the Nairobi Marathon is coming up. Please register for your school as well as your families. This is what I call impact, and a brilliant case study to demonstrate the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon is excellent and here for good.
You know, you're the corporate affairs brand and marketing manager. So some of these things that you will say, maybe what's expected of the Standard Chartered brand and marketing manager to say. But why does Standard Chartered, why 18 years? For 18 years, have you sponsored this particular marathon? What's in it for the bank?
We are here for good. We want to bring everyone together. This is the largest single sporting event in Nairobi, without a doubt. 2 years, 3 years with COVID, everyone was tired. Even last year we saw it. This time round, October 30th, we want people to come in droves. Come with your family. Come with everyone. Come and run with us. Make sure you are doing the training. If you're not able to come to Nairobi, you can run from whichever part of the village, anywhere from Siaya to Bungoma to Kisii, anywhere in the country, you can participate with us. You're not only going to be participating in the Standard Chartered Nairobi Marathon, but you're going to be making a big difference to someone's life. I've told you about the women, what we're doing for the women, the persons with disability, the youth, the students in the universities. These are brilliant stories, and we'd want everyone to participate. Now, I'd also want everyone to participate in the marathon because it actually promotes your physical and mental well-being. It's an amazing story. We run in green spaces. We are going to be planting trees. Last year, we were able to plant about 5,000 trees. Every person who comes for the marathon, you're given a tree seedling. We are going to be doing that in 2022. And for each tree seedling you plant, you conserve the environment and you accelerate our journey as Kenya to net zero. And that's where we all want to be. You've seen what's happening to the climate across the world, Kenya included, where everyone is frozen right now. So that's why I want everyone to come and participate in the marathon, because you're not only going to make an impact to the community, you're going to change the environment. Last year, we had 100% recyclable waste, in terms of we recycled all the waste we collected. We had no use of plastics. It's a plastic-free environment. That's what we encourage, because we are like, it's a sustainable marathon. And with those few words, I hope I can convince
Joyce.
you, the three of you, to all come.
Joyce,
Yes. And the entire-
the coming and running and walking,
Yes.
that can be done, especially walking slowly. But
Good.
the thing is, Standard Chartered is a bank.
Yes.
It's a business. Okay, so are you saying this is their CSR? Are you saying this is an attempt to give them better visibility and to place them on the right side of environmental rightism, if there's such a thing? Is this their way of contributing to the world in which they live in? Eric asked, how does the bank stand to benefit? Because there must be a benefit
Yes.
that the bank gets.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're asking.
Thank you.
What are these benefits?
As mentioned, the strategic priority for the bank is sustainability. So, being a strategic priority, the marathon falls squarely under sustainability, whereby one, anything that we get out of the marathon impacts our communities. And this is through our program called Future Makers. So, for example, all the proceeds that we'll get from the marathon will go towards Future Makers, which is aimed towards impacting the communities. The second thing which falls under the strategic priority of sustainability is how can we make sure that we conserve the environment and accelerate the journey towards the marathon, to net zero. The marathon helps in terms of, one, we promote running in green places, we do not use any plastics, and three, we also make sure that we lift participation in communities, especially people with disabilities. So by doing that, the marathon, how we contribute and how we benefit as a bank is achieving our strategic priority in terms of sustainability. All organizations have the ambition in terms of sustainability. Everyone is talking about our journey to net zero. How do we get to net zero? How do we lift participation of our communities? The marathon is a key enabler for us to achieve that.
Okay, well answered. I've been to www.nairobimarathon.com. Well, it's nairobimarathon.com.
Correct.
This is the portal where you can register to join. The various races are 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 21 kilometers. There's no 30 kilometers, it's 42 kilometers. So, Mary, you've got to decide whether you're coming back to 21 or you're going up to 42. And this is for the physical race, and you can also register for the virtual race as well. And let me read what they say, how to participate in the virtual marathon. You register for the virtual race, either 5, 10, 21 or 42 kilometers. You download Strava or your preferred activity tracking app on your phone. From wherever you are, pick a date from the virtual marathon week. That is between the 23rd and the 30th of October. And you decide to pick race. Use your app to track the distance. Or you can also use a smartwatch. Log into your results portal on the website or through the email link that will be shared with you. Once you register, submit your recorded distance and time. Your results will be processed in about 2 or 3 minutes. Check how well you did against other runners all over the world through the results tab on the website. Take a picture and share on the achievements with your family and friends. And this is all for the virtual run. So, Mary, which one are you doing? Virtual or physical?
Certainly physical.
How many kilometers?
I'll do 21. I'll do 21, but I'm targeting to do my PB. We call it PB, but the two stand for personal best. The trail the trail is similar to last year. A very beautiful trail for 21 kilometers, so very achievable for someone even to start today and get your under 2 hours for 21.
No human is limited.
No human is limited.
15959.
159.
Why not? How many did you do last year? How many kilometers and how
For
long?
the Standard Marathon,
Yeah.
last year I did 21 as well.
And what was
And
your-
last year I did it at a time of 2:06. And that for me was also my personal best
was
in
your
a
PB.
while. Yeah, but then now that I know the route very well, I know for sure this time I'm getting even to, I even can get to under an hour 50 minutes.
Since last year, have you bested that time of 2:06?
Certainly. Yeah.
So you
But-
are looking at breaking the Mary Gakuo record.
I keep it simple. It is my personal, mileage is my personal records, no pressure.
What is the route this time?
The route is on the southern bypass, and we'll be starting from the Uhuru Gardens. It's a beautiful scenic route because we'll be passing through the national park. It's the same as last year, and please make sure you participate.
So Southern Bypass from Uhuru Gardens,
Yes.
come to Elesereni and then go to Kikuyu. Or
Exactly. The Kikuyu route is if you're doing the 42 kilometers, the Sereni is the 21 kilometers, or the 10 and the 5 kilometers family run.
And if you're doing
Yes.
5, you just go up to Langata, you come back down, and you're done. And
Yes.
you're done. And that's it.
And you'll get your personal best. Correct.
Get your personal best. There's something that Julia is telling you, CT. She says, let's register for the marathon, CT. You and I. At least with you in the race, she's sure that she's not going to be the last person to finish.
You know, she has a valid point, and I agree with her. Because I've participated in races, I even have medals to show. I've told you this before. When my children were young, yes, I would participate in a parents' race. And the 2 times I participated, I got a medal. The first time, for running, the first time I got a silver medal. The next time I got a bronze medal. The first time, the only 2 runners. And so,
Imagine, please participate. We shall give you a medal. We have a medal for you.
yes,
Medal
and in
already
the
for
other, and
you.
in the other
Yes.
race, there were 3. There were 3 runners. So I have always participated, and I got a medal. So ignore the details.
Details don't matter.
No.
Yes.
We are registering again this time. Just like Julia is saying. You choose. There should be something. 5 kilometers over time.
The thing is, they allow you to walk, which is good.
Yes.
5 kilometers I
that's
can
the
walk.
beauty.
The beauty is that there's something for everybody,
Yes.
at whatever
Certainly.
level you
5
are at.
kilometers I can walk.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
ease.
Yes.
You said Langata and then back.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I
So,
can do.
That's 5 we can do.
so please
Very
register
manageable.
nairobimarathon.com.
Am I allowed to start walking around midnight so that, by the time other people come, at least I'll be halfway?
There are designated times for each race. It's a really fun experience.
Yeah.
Please make sure you come.
There's
Please
already a
make sure
medal
you
for you,
come.
CT. What do you
Exactly.
want?
There's a medal.
There's already
It
a
doesn't
medal
matter.
waiting for you.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't
All
matter.
you need to do is register.
And the medal is mine.
Yes.
Yes, and the time will be your personal best.
Thank you.
What else could it possibly be?
It's your personal best. Mary, thank you very much as well for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your interesting story. We wish you all the best as you prepare for this marathon, and as you encourage us now to, we'll talk on the side,
Yes.
and you start now training for this thing. Yeah, we are there. 21 kilometers by October.
October this year.
Manageable and achievable.
Yes.
Look how
No
Joyce is looking at
human
me.
is limited.
Manageable
How
and
many are you
achievable.
joining? Which race?
See, we are doing 21.
21.
Excellent. Okay. So
Yeah.
we are going to log you for registration just now. before we leave.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I mean,